Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, gonna move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. So welcome everyone. Tonight I'm going to focus on the Bybit hack in the news. It happened just yesterday, so it's current, and it sort of encapsulates everything we talk about here on the live stream. Self-custody, cold wallets, blind signing, hacks and scams. It's got it all, right? So we're going to dive deep into what exactly happened. News-wise, we'll talk about it, and then we'll do a deep dive on some of the more behind-the-scenes aspects that I've uncovered over the course of today. So you'll want to stick around for that too. And if we have time, I'll do some demos. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments if there are any burning questions. But this is a great topic. So we're going to just go through the news stories and then look at a few tweets and Telegram comments. So thank you everyone for being here. Let's give a big welcome to everybody that stopped by today. We'll go over here. So it's great to have everybody here tonight. Andreas is here. Kenny and Mark, they were all here early. It's good to have you guys. Simon, I think you were around too. Mr. Miskey, Hans Hannah 350, Simon Moulin, Christopher Thane from Melbourne, Australia, E. Poston, pardon me, E. Poston. I talked to Ed a little bit through email. Great guy. HR by Catherine. Good to have you back again. Roland Kane, Bobby, Jay Garcia, Dusted in Shadow, who has already gifted a membership over to BC Mike. Awesome. Joseph, good to have you here. Crypto Otis, D, Crypto, PJ Playhouse, Amsterdam, Holland, yourself, Air Marabat. Cold wallets are not cold anymore. Nice little observation there, but unfortunately, the wallet that the CEO was using to sign his transaction operated as designed, right? This was more of a social engineering type of hack in that the end users were tricked into authorizing the transaction. So we're going to go into that a little bit more. P. Wizzle, Dr. Sauce, Rick S. Good to have everybody here. Sergey, Root Mosky. So it sounds like we've got people from all over. So let me just jump right in. I would like to point out that if you've never been in the stream before, check out the description. If you can't see all this great stuff, just hit that little show more and the entire description will open up for you so that you can see what we're going to talk about tonight. This is some stuff maybe I want to touch on after we've gotten through the news. My latest video, which is about due diligence. I think we talked about this several times, and I promised you guys I would show you, but it's basically what you do after you set up a cold wallet to make sure your seed phrase is written down incorrectly. I've come across a lot of situations from people I've been trying to help where they were unable to restore their wallets because it kept saying their seed phrase was invalid. And this is because they wrote it down incorrectly. And it's too late if you wait until your wallet's gone. The best practice is to do your due diligence, do your check. You've got a recovery check on Ledger and Trezor, or you can do it the old-fashioned way by transferring a small balance, wiping the wallet, doing a restore, and then verifying that that balance is still there. After you've done that, you know that your seed phrase is valid and can be used to restore the wallet should anything happen. So I walked through that step by step. Also, I wanted to call out a gentleman, Jay Garcia. Oh wait, let me look. Let me look here. Where was that one? Somebody, yeah, here it is. Lou, Lu, super chatted me $100 because he was asking me about some wallet stuff and some configuration stuff. He wanted to create wallets for his kids and stuff like that. I don't want to get too far into it because it's personal for him, but I gave him some back and forth help through email, and he wanted to publicly thank me, and I told him that I would publicly call him out and let everyone know. It looks like someone here also gave me a super chat. This is a ways back, but geez, I'm just so overwhelmed by the support that you guys give. I really appreciate it. Wanted to call that out. Also, I think I think maybe I had this. Let me see. No, what have I done? Oh, here it is. I wanted to show you my recommended video, which is by Scrilla, who has once again beat me to the punch and created a very well done video explaining the hack and the mistakes that were made. And it's got a lot of good information in it. It's only 7 minutes and 45 seconds. You might want to check it out. Does a very good job of summarizing what happened. So we're going to go in for that deep dive. Let me see. Also, I've got affiliate links for all the great hardware wallets that I demo on my channel. The Ledger STAX, Ledger Flex, Trezor Safe 5, their flagship wallet. Tangem wallets, another great easy to use wallet for beginners. I really love Tangem. One Key also, I've been playing around with their One Key Pro, which has a beautiful large touchscreen. So there's a lot to choose from out there, guys, and I review all these wallets, so check them out. Also, for backing up your seed phrase, we got CryptoTag and Stamp Seed. Very nice gentlemen that run those companies, and it would consider it a personal favor to me if you would go check out their product page. And also, I've got links to all these stories. We've got some news stories, some Telegram stuff, and a few Twitter threads that we'll check out, or X threads, I guess. And then down at the bottom, if you want to get a hold of me, shoot me an email. I'll do my very best to answer your question. If you need help, I am available for paid consulting, but I'm more than happy to answer succinct, well thought out, articulated questions in my email. As I mentioned, that one gentleman paid me that $100 super chat, but I told him a couple of times before he did that there was really no, he didn't need to feel obligated to do that, and I was fine with helping him through email, but he wanted to show his appreciation. So shoot me an email at thecryptodad@gmail. One word. All right, so let's jump into the news, guys. Here it is. It happened yesterday. Bybit loses 1.5 billion, crazy amount in hack, but can. Oh wait. Oh yeah. This is the first one. Sorry, got a little ahead of myself there. A portion of staked Ether is currently being liquidated on decentralized exchanges. So this was yesterday around 6:41 p.m. Seemed like it happened earlier in the day, Eastern Standard Time, UTC. I don't know what this means. I think the hack occurred sometime yesterday afternoon, early afternoon, late morning, something like that. Blockchain data shows that around 1.4 billion has been withdrawn so far, and 200 million of that has been liquidated on decentralized exchanges. Bybit CEO Ben Zhao has confirmed that the exchange's Ethereum cold wallet was hacked. Ether is down by 4% following the transfers. They lost 1.46 billion worth of suspicious outflows, according to the blockchain sleuth Zach XBT, who does blockchain analysis kind of on his own. But he's cited in, he is the person cited for definitive proof of the source of this particular hack. The wallet in question appears to have sent 401 1,346 Ethereum, as well as several other iterations of staked Ether, STETH, to a fresh wallet, which is now liquidating METH and STETH on decentralized exchanges. This little statement here is kind of contradicted in one of the other stories. One of the other stories said that they converted it all to Ethereum before they tried to sell it. But you can sell staked Ethereum on decentralized exchanges. It's tradable. Okay, so this is showing on Etherscan. The CEO wrote on X that a hacker took control of their Ethereum cold wallet and transferred all of the ETH in the cold wallet to this unidentified address. Please rest assured that all other cold wallets are secure. All withdrawals are normal. This is a very interesting hack. Instead of hacking the exchange, they were able to hack one of their cold wallets where they kept Ethereum as a reserve, and they were just trying to transfer, I think, about 30,000 worth of Ethereum to their hot wallet, or he calls it a warm wallet, on their exchange for liquidity. And when they signed the transaction, it was a malicious transaction, and the hackers gained control of the cold wallet. However, because of the nature of this attack, Ben made the call to keep the exchange open, and we're going to read a little more about that. It's really an amazing, it's an incredible hack, and it's an amazing response by the exchange and the exchange community, if you want to call it that. Other exchanges have jumped in to help. But we'll cover that here. 1.46 billion would equate to the largest cryptocurrency hack of all time in dollar terms, right? With 470 million being lost in the Mt. Gox hack, 530 million in the 2018 hack of CoinCheck, and 650 million in the Ronin Bridge exploit. If we think of the Mt. Gox hacks in terms of Bitcoin, that may be a bigger hack. But at the time, Bitcoin was worth a lot less when that occurred. But if we just look at the amount of Bitcoin stolen from Mt. Gox, today's terms, that would be more in dollars, right? Just a little perspective there. All right, so who did this? North Korean hackers were behind crypto's largest theft of all time. Lazarus Group was behind Bybit's 1.5 billion hack. Arkham Intelligence said, citing Zach XBT. So here we go. Arkham said the North Korean hacker group Lazarus Group was behind the 1.5 billion hack. The attack appeared to have been caused by something called blind signing. The attackers first withdrew nearly 1.5 billion worth of funds from the exchange to a main wallet, and then distributed the assets to several different wallets. If you've ever transferred a large amount of crypto from your wallet to somewhere else, or whatever the case may be, and you get like those butterflies in your stomach as you click send, and you're like, did that work or not? Some people are terrified. Can you imagine the feeling of one transfer of 400,000 ETH from one wallet to another? And just that feeling, it has had to have been, probably would have fainted, right? Blockchain analytics firm, okay, we covered that. In an earlier post, Arkham offered a bounty of 500,000 Arkham tokens for anyone who could identify the attackers for Friday's hack. Later, the platform said on-chain sleuth Zach XBT submitted definitive proof that the attackers were the North Korean hacker group. His submission included detailed analysis of test transactions and connected wallets used ahead of the exploit, as well as multiple forensic graphs and timing analysis. The hack that rocked the crypto market and saw most prices tumbling was called the largest crypto theft of all time. The next largest crypto theft would have been the 611 million stolen from Poly Network in 2021. In fact, it may even be the largest single theft of all time, right? Not just crypto, not just the biggest crypto hack, the biggest theft of all time. Just an amazing story here. Blockchain data provider Nansen told CoinDesk that the attackers first withdrew the lump sum and then distribute it across several wallets, more than 40 wallets from the primary. So after they moved the ETH from Bybit's wallet to their wallet, then they quickly disperse those firms among 40 wallets. So a highly trained group, they knew exactly what they were doing. 27 million increments to over 10 additional wallets. The attack appeared to have been caused by something called blind signing, which we're going to go into a little more, where a smart contract transaction is approved without the comprehensive knowledge of its contents. This attack vector is quickly becoming the favorite form of cyber attack used by advanced threat actors, including North Korea. It's the same type of attack that was used in the Radiant Capital breach and the Warzier X incident. The problem is that even with the best key management solutions today, most of the signing process is delegated to software interfaces that interact with dApps. This creates a critical vulnerability. It opens the door for malicious manipulation of the signing process, which is exactly what happened in this attack. And once again, I should say that the wallet was working as designed, and the end user approved the malicious contract. So the wallet itself did not get hacked. The interface was hacked, and the end user actually signed the transaction by clicking the buttons on his cold wallet. Right, so this is not a problem with the Ledger device, insofar as maybe he shouldn't have been using that interface, but I don't know that there's any other way to do a multi-sig Ethereum wallet. There might be other ways or platforms to do it, but yeah, it's a bit of a vulnerability when you have to use blind signing using a dApp. There's a lot of, you can transfer without doing blind signing. You can put it so that you see the address you're sending to clearly. But in this case, it looks like he mentioned that he was looking at code rather than the address. This is the CEO, Ben Zhao. The hacker took control of the specific ETH cold wallet and transferred all of the ETH to this unidentified address. All right, and here's the tweet from Arkham, claiming victory, that they discovered who this was behind this hack, right? According to Zach XBT. Now, another interesting part of this story is that they were able to absorb a $1.4 billion loss. I think I read somewhere that that's equivalent to about 1 year's profit for them, which is a staggering amount, but it's amazing that they were able to absorb it. It's amazing that they were able to keep the cryptocurrency up and running. Even though there was a rush for the exit, they made the decision to not shut down deposits and withdrawals because, as I mentioned earlier, this hack had nothing to do with the mechanics or the internal mechanisms of the exchange itself. Their assets fell more than $5 billion after this $1.4 billion hack on February 21st, but independent audits confirm its reserves still exceed liabilities, ensuring full backing for users' funds. They maintained their maintained reserves exceeding its liabilities despite suffering a $1.4 billion hack and an overall $5.3 billion decline in total assets. The largest crypto theft in history. They took Ether, Mantle Staked ETH, METH, and other ERC20 tokens. Despite the hack and drop in assets, Bybit's exchange reserves. Okay, we already said that. Massive, tough hit for the industry, but Bybit's reserves still exceed their liabilities. Okay, we've repeated that one enough, right? Bybit processed more than 350 withdrawal requests within 10 hours, completing 99.9% of them by 1:45 a.m. UTC. Bybit founder and CEO Ben Zhao said in a February 22nd X post. It's amazing that they were able to stay up and running. It's just incredible after such a hack. Even Binance, when they got hacked back in 2021, I think it was, they shut down, right? They shut down for a while. But Bybit stayed up and running. And some of the other cryptocurrency leaders in the exchange community lent Bybit Ethereum. Now, the reason why they did this is Bybit had enough to cover the loss, but in order to maintain their Ethereum liquidity, they would have had to start liquidating other assets like Bitcoin, Solana, or whatever. And they were trying to minimize the impact on the entire crypto ecosystem. So instead of liquidating other cryptos, they turned to other exchanges who lent them pure Ethereum, right? And nobody went out and sold a bunch of their Ethereum in this. They basically just let Bybit borrow Ethereum for their liquidity needs so that they could stay up and running. Grace Chen from BitGet, I believe the name of her exchange is. I don't see it here, but that's it. BitGet users' assets are securely stored on our platform. So BitGet used their own reserve to lend 40,000 ETH to Bybit for their liquidity needs. So it shows that the community came together to keep the ecosystem up and running, right, without too much impact. And Bitcoin and Ethereum fell yesterday, but not by much. I mean, I've sneezed and seen Bitcoin drop 20%. Bitcoin dropped like 2 or 3%. From 98,000 down to 95,000. And now it's back up at like 96,600,000. So Bitcoin barely blinked over this. Ethereum is also back up to where it was yesterday. So incredible resilience of the crypto market despite this huge hack. All right, and this is Ben Zhao's tweet. I'm going to go into that a little bit more. I think I've got that on the Twitter. And then, this is the other aspect of the story, that other crypto exchanges have come to the rescue to fill the gaps. And this is Grace. Last name was Chen, I think. Yeah, Gracie Chen. At BitGet, we strongly believe in supporting the community and everyone contributing towards the growth of crypto. So just an amazing reaction by the community. Chen added that user funds are securely stored on her platform. Crypto exchange BitGet had transferred 40,000 ETH worth $105 million to Bybit, offering crucial support to its industry counterpart in the wake of the over $1 billion hack suffered by the exchange. This is stuff we've covered. Here's a little bit more on the hack. Part of the stolen funds started to move during Asian afternoon hours on Saturday, with over 5,000 Ethereum moved through EXCH Mixer, which is an Ethereum mixer, a service that masks wallet addresses, before being sent to Chainflip, where the stash was converted to Bitcoin. So these hackers are good. Even though this is like way in the public, they're already starting to use their tricks behind the scenes to convert some of this Ethereum to Bitcoin. In an X post, Chainflip said it couldn't block fund movements as it was a fully decentralized application that relies on automated smart contracts, but it had turned off some of its front-end services to stop the flow. On the other hand, BitGet has blacklisted wallets tied to the hacker that drained Ether worth millions from Bybit. We will block any transactions flowing in from illicit addresses. So that's the news. That's what happened. Let's go into a little bit more. This is a post by Pix. I think he did a good job of kind of talking about what and who Lazarus is, a hacker group. Um, I don't know if that's what they look like. I would assume that they're probably kind of more kicked back. And I don't think Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il is like sitting over their shoulder at all times. But yeah, they're a North Korean associated hacker group. Here's the untold story of how they did it and why no one is truly safe. I don't know about that. You can practice good self-custody, and we'll talk a little bit about the mistakes that Ben made. Lazarus is a state-backed North Korean hacking group. They've stolen billions from banks, crypto exchanges, and DeFi protocols, and now they've pulled off the biggest crypto heist in history. No code exploit, no leaked private keys. Bybit's own MultiSig signers approved the transaction. Apparently, there were 3 people that were responsible for this wallet, and all 3 of them signed the transaction because multi-sig means that you cannot move funds out of the wallet unless you have, a number of keys. In this case, 3. So there were 3 people at this company that had to authorize this transaction, with Ben being the very last person to sign the transactions. They were handing over their entire cold wallet, right? They thought they were signing a routine transaction, right? They were just moving Ethereum from the cold wallet to the exchange for liquidity, and then they signed a malicious transaction, exposed the wallet to the hacker. The hacker gained control of the cold wallet and emptied it out, right? So this raises a terrifying question. How did Lazarus know exactly who to target? A multi-sig wallet requires multiple signers. If even one refused to sign, the hack would fail, but they all signed. That means Lazarus didn't just hack Bybit, they knew who to manipulate. There are only a few ways to get that kind of information. Inside job, someone leaked the signer list. Social engineering, Lazarus studied their emails and behavior. Device compromise, one or more signers were infected with malware. And here's kind of a breakdown of the social engineering attack cycle. Lazarus stole 0.42% of all Ethereum in existence, right? It means they own more than the Ethereum Foundation, more than Vitalik Buterin, and more than Fidelity. Pretty amazing, right? Lazarus has done this kind of thing before, and they're very patient. They've waited years many times, and they have a lot of tricks for moving and masking the funds. As we noted earlier, they immediately disperse the funds among 50 wallets, right? They cash out fast, and then they can also wait for a long time, right? So pretty amazing what happened here. And then this is Ben Zhao, the CEO. He was the last person to sign the transaction. It was a transfer of, I believe, 30,000 ETH from cold wallet to the exchange, but the main wallet was holding 400,000 ETH. Bybit ETH multi-sig cold wallet just made a transfer to our warm wallet about 1 hour ago. It appears that this specific transaction was musked. All the signers saw the musked UI, which showed the correct address, and the URL was from Safe. Safe is it's a self-custody wallet that's kind of web-based, but you can use hardware wallets to secure your crypto. But in this case, because of the interface hack, the end users were tricked into authorizing what looked like a standard common transaction. However, the signing message was to change the smart contract logic of our ETH cold wallet. This resulted, hacker took control of the specific ETH cold wallet we signed and transferred all ETH in the cold wallet to this unidentified address. Please rest assured that all other cold wallets are secure. all withdrawals are normal, right? So what is the, I'll just briefly, Safe is a crypto wallet. So I've had some people ask me about this wallet. I've never used it before, but it's very similar to a lot of third-party wallets. You can connect your cryptocurrency to this service and do multi-sig, like multiple signature wallets, and it's a good interface. Creating a multi-sig wallet is pretty complicated. I know you can do it with Bitcoin in Electrum Bitcoin wallet, which is a desktop-based open source Bitcoin wallet. I don't know if there's a way to do it natively on a ledger. I don't think there is. So if you want to do multi-sig, and if you're dealing with, a wallet that's got 1.4 or $1.1 billion worth of ETH in it, you don't want to have one person responsible. But even those, barriers were overcome by these hackers. So, yeah. And let's see what we got over here. Zach BTC was credited with discovering this. I've got his Telegram group open. I've got it pinned down below if you're interested. This is his thread from yesterday. Okay, he's tired of getting bugged by people with stupid questions. Currently monitoring suspicious outflows from Bybit. Will update as information becomes available. And then he shows some blockchain data there. METH and STETH currently being swapped on DEXs for Ethereum. My sources confirm it's a security incident. Right, so this was the discovery, the public discovery of this hack. You can see it right there in black and white. Pretty cool. If you are an exchange or service who follows my channel blacklist, these addresses on all EVM chains, right? So these are the hacker wallet addresses. Some more information, blockchain information from Zach. And there it is. The attacker just split 10K ETH to 39 addresses. And then he gives Ethereum addresses that should be blacklisted. And then another update, 10K ETH split into another 9 addresses. So these hackers obviously experienced on this, right? A lot of work on their part. And there's kind of a breakdown of the path of these funds. Lazarus Group transferred 5K ETH from the Bybit hack to a new address and began laundering funds via EXCH, a centralized mixer, and bringing funds to Bitcoin via Chainflip. Right? So he's got the blockchain addresses there. On-chain clown of the day, the EXC team accidentally sent 34 ETH to the hot wallet of another exchange after laundering 35 million for Lazarus Group from the Bybit hack today. There's the transaction hack. So pretty amazing stuff. And I think that's it. That's the news. We got it covered. Sorry about that. I wanted to get through everything. And let me go back up here. And hopefully I got to everybody's questions. Some of this stuff was posted while I was still talking, so I may have answered these early questions. Dan's here. Thank you for being here. Dan, Fred, thanks for that reminder to smash the like button. I have several videos on crypto taxes. I think the most recent one that I did was not too long ago. Let's see here. Yeah, I just did a Coinly tax video not too long ago. Tax season is upon us, so I do plan on doing tutorials for several of the other big crypto tax software companies. Basically, when you use these services, you're not transferring any private keys to them. You're just giving them wallet information and your exported transaction history from your exchanges, right? So that allows them to track everything, your purchases, your sales, your trades and your transfers, all that stuff can be brought into one interface so that they can calculate your capital gains and or losses, and then they will spit out the capital gains tax form for you, which you can take to your tax accountant. Although I think maybe some of them now are getting into full tax preparation. I don't know. But I'll be doing crypto tax tutorials for getting yourself started with these services. I don't know tax questions. I mean, I can't really answer questions about tax law, but I know how to use these services. It's basically just the process of connecting your wallets and your exchanges, right? So yeah, there's Coinly, there's CoinTracker. Let's do tax. All right. Yeah, it's cointracker.io. And then what did I have here? Coinly, CoinTracker, and Ledger. I know there's others, but these are the ones that I've done, that I'm familiar with, and I've done videos on them. So I think my next one will be Ledger, probably this week, right? If you're interested in doing crypto taxes. Tax season is coming upon us. ETH didn't tank. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Can you make a video about the software verification for Seed Signer using GPG in Windows? I need to update my device and I don't know how to do it. Well, yeah, I used to do quite a few software verification videos. Frankly, there's not a lot of interest in that. I know it's not easy, but I have done quite a few software verification videos. What are you asking me about? Seed Signer? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the verification videos that I've done it's been quite a while. Let's see. Let's see. How to verify. That's SHA sum checker. Let's try verification. Yeah, so I mean, I have some, yeah. Let's try software. I don't know if that's going to get it or not. Okay. How to cryptographically verify your software downloads. I think that's probably pretty close to what you're asking me about. So you could check that video out and see if it answers your question. Software verification is kind of a black art. But once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad. You'll need to have all the proper software installed, the verification software, and, you need to be pretty competent with, computers and files and folders and software and that kind of stuff. Let's see. Doc Capital. Rex has been covering it for the past 20 minutes. Catch it in the replay. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate that. Never buying K-pop tickets again. Roll back on ETH, could you imagine? No, I don't think they're going to do that. That's what happened way back in 2014. Or I'm sorry. Yeah. No, not 2014. 2014. There was a big giant ETH hack, and then the community that ran the Ethereum project decided to roll back the blockchain, and there was a split in the developer community, and that spawned Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, because the people doing Ethereum Classic were the ones that rolled back, and the people on ETH just went forward. So rolling back the blockchain is not that great of an idea. And it just leads to people getting confused and not trusting the platform. So and blockchain is supposed to be immutable. That's the whole idea behind cryptocurrency, is that there are no takebacks, right? The big difference between purchasing with crypto and using a credit card. With a credit card, if you don't like, that new juicer that you bought and they won't take it back, you can just call your credit card company and reverse the charges, causing all kinds of chaos. It doesn't work that way with crypto. There are no takebacks. Ricky Bobby, just got my first wallet this weekend, Ledger Flex. I like it. Easy for a beginner, big screen, easy to check the address. Yes, yes, yes. I I'll tick all those boxes. That's one of the main reasons I like the Ledger STAX and the Ledger Flex, because of their screen. So I'm a big believer in the interface for hardware wallets has to improve. Let's talk a little bit about blind signing and what it means. When you're using a hardware wallet and you sign a transaction, you're going to see a certain amount of information on the screen of your device. That's its function, is to give you that security information. And the idea is that you can confirm exactly what you're doing by looking at the screen on your cold wallet. And that's all well and good when you're doing a normal everyday transaction like a transfer. It's going to give you where you're sending it, how much you're sending, what the blockchain fees are, all that good stuff. And then you get to the last screen and you click sign. Yeah, it's the way it's supposed to work. But when you're interfacing with DApps, like, for example, this DApp, which they were using to implement their MultiSig, there's a risk of the interface steering you wrong. And but that shouldn't override the device itself. However, some DApps are too complicated for the device to give you a readable input, right, or a readable text that you can authorize. And so you either don't do it at all, right, or you enable what's called blind signing. By enabling blind signing, you're able to simply just kind of override the interface and sign the transaction. You'll get some information, but it'll be kind of unreadable to the human eye. It'll mostly be contract codes and things like that. And we suspect that that's what was going on when Ben signed this transaction, because he said he saw the code, he checked the code, but he didn't totally verify the code. Now, some people say that he was looking at the address and he didn't fully verify the receiving address or where it was going on the device. But to me, it sounded more like he had blind signing enabled, and so all he was seeing was code without the actual destination address appearing on the device itself. They could see the address in the software interface. So they were looking at the software interface. It looks like this interface got hacked somehow. Maybe locally on the end user's machines. As I mentioned, this hack appears to be more of a social engineering than a hardware hack of any kind, or a code hack. I mean, that was involved, of course, but the big thing was identifying who the three signers were, what software they were using, where they were located, the machines that they used, all that kind of stuff. So that's what was going on. I don't know what this is all about. Oh, I can't do it from here, can I? Let's get this out of here. Yeah, we'll just get that gone. Will the Ledger community go after Ledger? That's P. Wizzle. As I mentioned, this had nothing to do with Ledger. Ledger is doing everything they can to implement clear signing, which when used properly, you will see all the pertinent information when you sign it. But clear signing is not adopted universally by all the DApps out there. So certain DApps can't really take advantage of clear signing unless they work with the Ledger company to implement the clear signing on their DApp. And so in that case, the only way to use those particular DApps would be to enable blind signing to kind of override that. But Ledger has gone around the block trying to warn people not to use blind signing, right? Another mitigating factor that we can consider here is that we don't want to use our go-to wallets when we're doing DApps, right? It's great to use cold wallets to secure your crypto, no matter what you're doing. But if you're using a wallet that's got, $400,000 worth of ETH on there, probably not the best idea to be using a DApp where you have to enable blind signing. But I think in this case, that was the weakness that got discovered. They wanted to implement multi-key signatures so that one person didn't have full access to a cold wallet with 1.4 billion or $1.1 billion worth of ETH in there. It's, obvious security issue, right? So they wanted to implement a multi-key signature, and they chose, and this is, a tried and true self-custody wallet interface. And I don't believe that this service was hacked explicitly. I believe it was the end user's machines that got hacked. Obviously, the hackers discovered that they were using this to implement their multi-key protocol, and they took advantage of that. They're probably out there probing all kinds of companies for their, trying to figure out where their weakness is. Apparently, this was Bybit's weakness, was that they were using good security practice by implementing multi-key signing. However, they were, in order to do this, they used a DApp that required them to enable blind signing. So it wasn't Ledger's fault. There were a few people out there trying to blame Ledger over this, but this is not Ledger's fault. He could have been using any hardware wallet to do this. The results would have been the same. Okay, so we got some wonderful guests with us tonight. Thank you, Dan. Dan's out there smashing cockroaches with his sledgehammer, keeping all of these spammers out. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about, so I think I've covered blind signing for you guys. It is basically overriding, I wouldn't say overriding the security. I guess it is. You're sort of overriding the interface on your device when you use blind signing. But in most cases, you can check the interface that you're on. Like if you're using, if your machine is clean and you're using like an exchange, a decentralized exchange like Uniswap, and you verify that you're on the official Uniswap page, you can pretty much trust the information that you're seeing on your screen and in your wallet interface, right? Even though you've got blind signing enabled. But in this particular case, the Bybit hack, their interface had been hacked, and so they thought what they were seeing looked day-to-day standard, but it turned out it was not. What is a DApp? Like a decentralized DApp stands for decentralized app, and this is the one that they were using, and it looks like they were tricked. They were led to a faux site. It wasn't the actual site, and the interface looked similar, but it was a hacked copy of this. let's see, here's another big one. Uniswap is another big one. A decentralized, there are lots of dApps out there. That's the future of crypto. That's what we call Web 3. So this includes decentralized apps and then third-party wallets like MetaMask or Kepler or Rabby. You know, there are a lot of dApps out there. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah. So yeah, third-party wallets that interface with your device. And if you verify what you're doing and you look at that person and I'm sorry, you don't look at you look at the software and verify it, then they're generally safe to use if you're using good security practices. But they do pose a risk. So for long-term holding, you should use a hardware wallet, goes without saying, but use for your long-term holdings, use a isolated hardware wallet that does not interact with any dApps. If you want to play around with dApps, that's great. You can do them hot if you want, or you can use a cold wallet, but just transfer small amounts into that secondary cold wallet when you're interacting with Web 3, right? It's just common security practices. So generally, if you had a cold wallet like Bybit, you would just be interfacing directly with the wallet rather than a third-party dApp. But they were trying to implement multi-key, and that was their weakness, right? Trying to be more secure ended up making them less secure. It's a thorny world out there, definitely. Okay, well, got a bunch of spammers in here tonight. Okay. Okay. I guess that means I'm popular tonight, right? Isn't that good? Okay. Oh, no, I'm not going to put him in timeout. I'm just going to take him out forever. So are there any burning questions? What is Safe used for only for multisig? That is a really good question. I was talking about Electrum wallet, which I know when you're using the Electrum Bitcoin wallet, you can implement multi-key using Electrum Bitcoin wallet. But Electrum Bitcoin wallet is an open source software tool, but it is not a cold wallet. You can also use a ledger when you're doing when you're using Electrum, and I believe you could implement multi-key using Electrum. But this is a Bitcoin wallet, right? So I don't know what the, first of all, multi-key is probably not something that an end user really should be worried about. They're for big companies where you got huge amounts of crypto and you don't want one person to have full control. If you're using your own wallet individually, there's no reason you need to be playing around with multi-key. You're going to end up losing your crypto trying to make things more complicated than they need to be. You should always remember to keep it simple. Yeah, that's right, A1. Ben said that he really didn't check the address. He said he looked at it, but he didn't look at it hard enough or something like that. It's pretty incredible. Any new or upcoming updates on Tangem that is significant? Not that I've heard of. I think they were running I know they were running a sale through Valentine's Day. I think that's over now. But as far as new products, I don't know. I'll keep up with them. I check in with them pretty regularly, and I've been working with them for quite a while. And the CEO will usually shoot me an email if something big is on the horizon as far as Tangem goes. Tangem is a great wallet for a beginner, and it's really slick and easy to use. I love Tangem wallets. My favorite hardware wallet is probably the Ledger STAX. I love my Ledger STAX. It's expensive. It's $400. But you can't beat the interface and you can't beat the security, right? Below that would be the Flex, which is I would say that's my biggest recommendation for anybody that asks me what's the best wallet, because of the interface and the price point, right? Less than the STAX, smaller screen, but still a touch interface e-ink display and secure screen technology. There's a lot of hardware wallets out there that don't use secure screens. They use coprocessors, so they have a secure element chip, and the secure element chip is used sometimes for doing cryptographic operations. Sometimes the secure element chip is just kind of secure memory storage for the private key. But then when it sends the information to the end user by the screen, there's a coprocessor. So Ledger has secure screen technology. The screen software is built into the secure element chip, one of the most secure displays out there, if not the. Anywho. Yeah, blind signing needs to be enabled for all kinds of stuff. So I completely understand why they were using blind signing. It's pretty common. It just kind of sucks that it had to be implemented in this situation, right? They might need to rethink how they manage their cold wallets from now on, right? Right. And like I said, nothing wrong with Safe Wallet either, but just kind of an attack surface, right? Generally, it's safe to use if used properly. If you're on the legitimate site when you're using their MultiSig wallet, if you're on their real site and you're not being hacked and being shown a faux site. This is also very common for social engineering hacks. A lot of hackers, like Coinbase hackers, will clone the Coinbase website. And so they'll call you up, claim that there's a problem with your Coinbase account, win your trust, and then they will direct you to their faux site that looks like Coinbase but isn't. And I think that's kind of what happened here to the Bybit employees, right? They somehow got directed to a faux site that looked like what they normally used, but was malicious, right? All right. I can transfer many coins or token. Can I transfer many coins or tokens to Tangem? Yeah. Yes, Tangem supports quite a few coins. I bought my Tangem wallet from Amazon, though it did come direct from Switzerland. That's the easiest to use. Please CD. I always order directly from Ledger and Tangem, but I have no problem with buying hardware wallets on third-party sites because they have integrity checks, right? Tangem has built-in integrity checks. Ledger, Trezor, Keystone, OneKey. They all have integrity checks, cryptographic checks, to make sure the device is genuine and hasn't been tampered with. So all this FUD about, oh, be careful, your package was open, all that stuff, supply chain attacks, it's basically moot when you're dealing with wallets that have verification checks. Lazarus says he doesn't like Tangem because you can't see the information that you're approving, and that is true. It is meant to, the way it is designed, it doesn't have a screen because it wants to keep the private key private even from the end user. It's ideal for new users. As long as your phone is not compromised, it's safe to use Tangem, right? The only way a Tangem can get hacked is by the app itself being hacked. Most of the time, the Apple App Store keeps their apps secure. But you do have to be aware of malicious apps on the App Store. It happens, so they slip through. But yes, you know, when you're using Tangem, you are relying not only on the card but the app itself. So you do have to be careful in that sense. But still, it's a great wallet. It's very easy to use. More people lose crypto because they mismanage their seed phrase than wallets getting so-called hacked, right? So the largest attack surface is the end user, right? And Tangem has a great use case for preventing the end user from mismanaging their seed phrase. There's always trade-offs. There are security trade-offs back and forth. Just like we're talking here with the MultiSig wallet. They wanted more security, so they wanted MultiSig, but it was a security trade-off because it was a DApp. It was an attack surface. Not a large attack surface, but an attack surface just as well. So if anybody didn't get their question answered, please shoot me an email at thecryptodad@gmail.com. My email is in the description down below, guys. Just check me out down here at the bottom. If I didn't answer your question and you want to talk more, shoot me an email. I'm going to sign off now. I didn't get a chance to do a whole bunch of crypto demos, but I wanted to keep it short and sweet tonight. I want to thank everyone that was here. Thank you, Kenny, so much for the news. Thank you, Dan, for being here and moderating. Sometimes I can't remember the word I'm about to say. Dusted and Shadow, thanks for being here and for gifting memberships. I appreciate everyone that asked questions. Appreciated everyone that came by and said hello and listened. I thank you all. Let's see where we are here. Yeah, I will be here next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everyone.